All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's 11:43 p.m. on Thursday night, and streaming. Let's see, I just did and we'll say we'll say late evening stream with miscellaneous goodies. Watch here. Okay, and then we'll click to make sure it's working. All right. Okay, so let's start over here. We did the things in green on the last stream, so we'll get rid of those. And we can do some renumbering here. And then somebody emailed me today and asked me for my opinion on the market. So we'll say my opinion on the market. uh, yeah, it's late. I just spent the last 2 hours updating or completing the paperwork for our E&O renewal application. So every year, once a year, at the end of November, I have to spend a couple hours filling out paperwork to renew our errors and omissions policy for the following year. So it's a lot of, um, they want to know if our volume has changed, and they want to know our largest transactions, and it's just questions and questions and questions and questions. And so, got to go in and research data and pull up information, and it's not the most fun job, but it has to be done, right? The nice thing is, um, we continue, knock on wood, to have never had to file an E&O claim. And that's a testament to real estate done right. You guys do great work, and um, I back you up. And between your good work and my backup, we've steered clear of any E&O claims. So it's very much a testament to you guys and to what we're all about. So I appreciate that. And honestly, it's just a matter of time. Atova has a great track record, but there's nothing that prevents a crazy person from doing crazy things, right? So we're usually pretty good at, when somebody's escalating something, you guys bring it to me, and then I'm pretty good at de-escalating, using a variety of strategies depending upon who the person is and what um, their personality. Sometimes people want to. Sometimes people just want an apology. They want somebody to take responsibility and listen and understand and apologize. And so I'm good at that. Sometimes people need to be put in their place. They're freaking out, and they're pointing fingers at everybody, and they need somebody to take their craziness and say, "Look, you're not understanding here. This is how it works," and just kind of lay down the law for them. So there's a variety of strategies. Well, and I hate that word. It sounds like it's so. Um, Strategy sounds manipulative, and it's really not that. It's really more of a identify the identify the um, I was going to say the buttons, pushing people's buttons. That's not right either. It's just identifying what people want, it's and what people need, uh, and so I don't know. I think it's really just a matter of um, acknowledging that every situation is unique and evaluating every situation and then making the best decisions that you can given the information that's available. So between you guys and me, we've been very successful in diffusing every problem that's come to bear. There was a I was going to show you guys. Do I have it here? Um, no, I think it's in the car still. But I got a text from Susie, I think on Tuesday, a couple days ago, and she says, there's somebody here with a subpoena, um, and it always makes your heart sink. You're like, oh gosh, who's subpoenaing me now for what? What did we do wrong? And we get, Atova gets subpoenaed probably 4 or 5 times a year. Fortunately, again, knock on wood, every time we get subpoenaed, it's because usually it's divorce. Usually clients from a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago are splitting up, and the attorney for one of the clients is trying to recreate or get more information on this real estate transaction. And so usually the subpoena is a records subpoena. They want to get a copy of the closing statement because one spouse or the other doesn't have it, and they look to us as the easiest way to get it. So um, I always, whenever there's a subpoena, it's like, what if it is something bigger? What if it's something that involves a TOVA or one of our agents? And so I tell her, in this particular case, I was like, hey, tell the guy just to hang out, and I'll be down there in 5 minutes. So packed up my stuff, left the house, went down there, got the paperwork, and you look at it, and you're like, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? And it's like, oh, okay, good. It's just they want a copy of a file. So yeah, that's probably the third one this year. Um, just attorneys looking for copies of files, which of course, if it's if it's through the courts, if it's a court issued subpoena, then we follow the directions of the court. So um, write the intro. Okay, so what this is, writing the intro is I've got a I want to get it so where there's a consistent intro to these streams. So essentially, I was thinking about it. Essentially, it's something to the effect of, um, you know, hello and welcome to the stream. um, um, but there's some points. So it's kind of like an educational thing. So if you um, if this is your first time watching a stream, if this is your first time watching the live stream or the Broker Daily live stream, if this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, I wanted to establish that it's not, this isn't, um, this isn't like a entertainment production. It's more that I'm inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. So um, it's not an orchestrated presentation. The streams are not. So it's hi, it's me. Welcome to the live stream. or if this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream. So hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, know that this is not a an orchestrated production. That's not right. Let's just type it out here, shall we? So we'll say hi, it's me, with a smiley face and a hand wave. We can get rid of that. So hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not a planned, that's not the right word. This is not a, if this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not designed or intended to be a fancy presentation. Hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not intended to be a fancy presentation. Rather, this is simply me inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. And then I wanted to talk about the first few minutes. So and I wanted to cover this too. So break it down for people when they are here. This probably won't last forever, but I want to do it for the next month, 2 months, so that anybody that happens to watch one stream will get like this primer, this intro, and so they understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and kind of the nuances. So hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not intended to be a fancy presentation. Rather, this is simply me inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. I usually spend the first 5 minutes or so covering brief topics, and then transition into working or into a longer transition into allowing you, that sounds obnoxious, transition into I'll say longer projects. So if you're interested in the longer project, great. If not, at least try to watch the intro portion of every stream. I always note the length of the intro portion here. And then that's going to be here in this column there. And we should say what that is. That is the timestamp of the ending of the stream of the update. What we say, it's the intro portion of the intro of when the intro portion concludes or ends. All right, let's just give this a quick shot. And I don't want to read this every time, but I'm just trying to create some structure so that there's this introduction every time. So, hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not intended to be a fancy presentation. Rather, this is simply me inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. I usually spend the first 5 minutes or so covering brief topics, and then transition into longer projects. If you're interested in the longer project, great. Feel free to hang out with me for the entire stream. If not, at least watch, be certain to at least watch the intro portion of every stream. Okay, so something like that. Let's try it again. Hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not intended to be a fancy presentation. Rather, this is simply me inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. I usually spend the first 5 minutes or so covering brief topics and then transition into larger projects or longer projects. If you're interested in the longer project, great. Feel free to hang out with me for the entire stream. If not, be certain to at least watch the intro portion of every stream. I always note the length of the intro portion here in this column. This is the timestamp of the ending of when the intro portion ends. This is the timestamp of the ending of the intro portion. And I don't want to call it intro. We're going to call it the brief update. The brief update portion of every stream. Do I call it intro up here? Hi, it's me. If this is your first time watching the Broker Daily live stream, please know that this is not intended to be a fancy presentation. Rather, this is simply me inviting you to hang out with me for part of my day. I usually spend the first 5 minutes or so covering brief topics and then transition into longer projects. If you're interested in the longer project, great. Feel free to hang out with me for the entire stream. If not, be certain to at least watch the brief topics portion of every stream. I always note the length of the intro portion here. This is the timestamp of the ending of the brief intro portion or the brief update portion of every stream. Okay, so something like that. And I'll refine this, but I just wanted to kind of get it going. So we have the first version of that. And I'll work on it more. Whoops, we like green. Green means we have discussed it. let's go to, I wanted to cover this today. Ethics and Rules CE Instructions. So I just took my ethics course yesterday. So let's do Realtor ethics course. Okay, so we've got here Code of Ethics training. And then where was it? Right here. Course for existing members free. So we'll click on existing member course. And then it asks you for your username and your password. And I don't know. What do you know? Okay. So you can see here I completed mine. Congratulations, completed. Yay. But if I go here, it's because I've completed. It won't let me do it. So then go back. So that's what I was going to show you guys is first thing I'm going to do is let's get this URL. Copy link address and let's see where this takes us. Okay. Okay, and then let's do a bit.ly. And we'll go here, and then we'll copy that, and then we'll go back to the dashboard here, and we'll do ethics course online class, and then we'll paste that there. Okay, because that takes us straight to this page, is that right? It takes us straight to this page. Okay, good. So I'm going to log out and ethics course online class. All right, and then there's also a IMLS rules orientation that we have to do by the end of the year. So two things that you guys have to do by the end of the year. One is take your ethics class, and two, take the IMLS rules orientation. And that is right easily online. It's going to be this one right here. Click here for the online class. The assessment below must be completed and all responses correct to be accepted. It's open book. Use the PDF handouts below for assistance. You'll be required to enter your member contact information for verification of course completion. So I've not done this one yet. I've got to do this one still. So there's this handout. There's the violation chart. Let's look at the violation chart, shall we? Getting new listings online, status changes reported right away, reporting sales right away. All this stuff is handled by Susie, so we never have those problems. No front photo within 1 day. Again, Susie's on that. Failure to update proposed closing date. They never really can even know that. Like every once in a while, you guys will text me on a Saturday. Steve just got an offer on this listing, and then we accepted it. Can you please set my listing to pending? Because my phone's blowing up. Everybody wants to see this house, and so I will typically um, just set it to pending, and because oftentimes you guys don't have you just need it set to pending. So I'll set it to pending. I'll put the close date out for like 45 days. Um, and so what if it closes 30 days, in 30 days instead of 45? So this is really I don't think this is really critical. Um, and Susie fixes everything for me anyway. So I set it pending, put it out for 45 days, and Susie cleans up my mess. So thank you, Susie. Um, so this is just basic stuff. Third-party marketing, branded. Yeah, so you don't want to have, this is all the same thing where you can't have your contact information, you can't market third parties, um, you can't have that information available to the public. Um, Bad information in your listings, manipulating listing data to avoid CDOM, collected days on market or property history. Um, how would we even do that? Manipulating listing data to avoid CDOM. Because it's 30 days, right? You have to be off the market for 30 days to reset CDOM. Do we even have the ability to change like the dates? I'm not sure how that's even possible. Canceling and relisting is new in under 30 days. Yeah, that's bad. At least it's bad for the rule. Distributing IMLS confidential information. So this is giving a consumer a full detail MLS listing. Failure to submit terms of contingencies. Using another agent's photos. And that's without permission. So you can do it with permission. Reporting an inaccurate sales price. Yeah, that's not good. That's not only an MLS violation, that's an ethics violation and probably a legal violation too. IMLS disclosure form, status disclosure form, that's for coming soon listings. Canceling, withdrawing, or expiring a sold listing. That's a trick to not report sales data. We'll just cancel the listing instead of reporting sales data. $500 fine. Failing to receive paperwork to justify sold price. 45% above or below original price in 3 business days. What is that? Failing to receive paperwork to justify sold price 45% above or below original price in 3 days. That's an interesting rule. I didn't even know that existed. So if you have a listing and it sells for 45% more or below the original price, there's some paperwork you're supposed to turn in within 3 days. I don't know. I didn't even know that rule existed. Showing property while in temporarily off-market status. Yeah, that's a no-no. You take your listing off the market, and then you continue to show it by yourself, or show it yourself. That's not in your client's best interests. Sharing username and password. Boom. $5,000. Hardcore right there. So yeah, don't give your MLS username and password to friends or family members. That's bad. All right, so I didn't mean to really get into that. I was just curious. Okay, so here's the class. The assessment below. Where's the assessment? IMLS rules, training, and test.
Now till noon. The other thing about the rules class is everyone's required to take it every 2 years. So you take it as a new agent, and then by the end of 2020, everyone's gonna have to take it again. Everyone in the MLS is on the same cycle because they started it at the same time. And so the first.
That is Chris Peterson. Chris is a good guy. He knows what's up, and he's also reasonable to deal with. I like that guy. Okay, so the online class is Chris.
I want to make sure you're entering it accordingly. I know that
Walking you through some slides, and then we've got the online assessment. An agent is allowed to share their super lockbox key. False. To enter a listing as new, it must be at a new listing office or have been off the market for 30 days or longer. True. Agents need broker authorization to display listing on your own website. True. Agents are required to lease a key or pay monthly for the app on your phone from the MLS. That's not correct. No. Broker can get 2 keys. No. Okay. What is reporting time frame for entering listings, changing the listing price, changing the status on the listing? When you are ready. Let's call it read the rule. This is the wrong response. I love it. Thank you, Chris. Um, yeah, we're gonna go with next business day. Sold price is required to be reported to MLS for what kind of listing? When the listing is entered after closing as an unpublished sold, when the listing is entered into Paragon as a sold listing, or both? I think it's both. After closing is an unpublished sold. When the listing is entered after closing as an unpublished sold. Yeah, I think they want prices no matter what now. Intermountain MLS allows signs and listing photos. False. What kind of documentation is required to list a property in the Intermountain Multiple Listing Service? Cocktail napkin with indecipherable writing, a post-it note from the seller, a handshake, or a listing agreement with all signatures. MLS entry is the only listing service type that indicates a brokerage is only entering the listing into the MLS and doing nothing else. MLS entry only. Okay, this is like for like Lowe's flat fee and the guys that just put it in the MLS, they don't do anything else. MLS entry only is the listing service type that indicates that a brokerage is only entering the listing into the MLS and doing nothing else. That's correct, yep. Nothing else. That's fantastic. Temporarily off market listings are off market to everyone. $500 fine. I don't know if it's $500, but yes, that is true. To reset the cumulative days on market, off the market for 31 days. I thought it was 30, but 31. Maybe it has to be honest. 31st day. An expired listing can be used again with the same MLS number. Oh no. Let's call that false. Coming soon listings must be entered into the MLS by the next business day. And the MLS status disclosure form must be uploaded. Yes, this is true. Data accuracy is important to Intermountain MLS. Yep. Compensation is required on all listings entered into the Intermountain MLS. Huh. I don't think so. I might be wrong there. I could. Oh no, I'm going to say yes. Auction properties. I know that when we fill out the listing, they don't let us actually hit the submit button unless we've put something in the compensation field. And so I'm going to say true there. Auction properties can enter 0 as an asking price when there is no minimum bid. True. Logins and passwords cannot be shared. True. Contingent listings are still active. Must have a bump clause and will expire. True. Agents can publicly market properties that are not their own and identify properties by address without consent of the listing broker. Agents can publicly market properties that are not their own and identify properties by address. Oh, can I market a listing that's not my own? Nope. I have to get consent, that's right. Is it acceptable to skip required fields on listings when entering listing data into the Intermountain MLS? Well, they're required fields. So is it okay to skip a requirement? Probably not. Next. Oh, check that out. Yay for Steve. You completed all the responses correctly. Congratulations. So I have to enter my email address, sbarbie@atova.com, and Steve Barbie, oh, just my name, Steve Barbie. My MLS number, this is just my number, so it's not my password, so I can share that with you guys. And then we hit submit, and then I've done that. So I've done my ethics, and I've done my rules orientation. Hooray. So the class is there, the assessment is here. So we're going to go to, again, copy link address. We'll go to bit.ly, paste that in there, and go back to Atova Central, and we'll say IMLS rules test. IMLS rules, take the test here. And I'm not sure if the test rotates questions or if it's the same questions for everybody. So if it is the same questions in the same sequence, you can use my video as training to help you as you take that test. And let's do that there. Oh, I suppose I should put in the other links too. So we have the class, copy link address, and IMLS rules video, class video. We'll say if you need it, IMLS rules class video. And then they've got violation chart and rules. In the violation chart, what's the difference? Oh, this is the whole slide deck. That's the slide deck. This is a chart. And we'll do this here. Might as well give you guys everything. These are the slides. If you need it, IMLS rules class slides. Also, if you need it, the rule class slides. And lastly, if you need it, IMLS rules class, what was that? Chart. Let's get the short URL for that. If you don't know what Bitly does, it just takes long URLs and it shortens them. So when you send the short URL to somebody and they click it, it just automatically forwards to the long URL. So paste that there. And then what else do we have? I think that's it from there. Right intro. It's 12:25. I think I'm going to call it a night. Let's just say this right here. Let's say I do take the IMLS rules test in my stream above. I do take the IMLS rules test in my stream above if you would like to use that for reference. I am not going to, I'm not even sure I could at this point. I thought about live streaming the ethics course, but the IMLS rules class and the rules test, I'm totally okay if you guys want to. Oh, I got shifted way over there. Did I move? I wonder. It doesn't really matter. I can bring up, what is it? This guy. And then I can move myself. Kind of fun. Hello, hello. Up and down and left and right. All right. So I was thinking about streaming the ethics course, and then you guys could use that as a tool for kind of knowing the answers to the questions. But unlike the IMLS rules class, which is just IMLS rules, not that they're not important, but they're just IMLS rules. It kind of goes like this. In my opinion, it goes Idaho law and the Realtor Code of Ethics. Those two things are equally important and things that we need to be very diligent about following. We need to follow the law and we need to behave ethically. Those things are critical. IMLS rules are the rules of our local MLS, and while we certainly respect those rules and we want to follow them, they're just a tier down on the critical level, right? So, um, I'm happy to help you with a little bit of a cheat sheet, if you will, for the IMLS rules class. But for the ethics course, I think that you guys should treat that with great importance. So take the course, pay attention to what they're teaching you, learn, and then use that knowledge to pass the exam. So use the ethics course for its intended purpose. Um, it would be inappropriate to find a way to kind of just kind of skip it or brush past it. I think you should do the opposite. I think you should choose to take that course and really be a student of it, and learn where the lines are ethically with regard to different situations. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. 12:30. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys again soon. If you need anything, you know who to call. I'm always happy to help. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye bye.